I almost quit on September 14th, 2007. I'd lost everything that mattered. I was broke, humiliated, and convinced I'd been fooling myself about my entire life's purpose. And I made a decision that night. Tomorrow, I'm done. I'm walking away. I'm admitting defeat. And I went to bed with this strange mixture of devastation and relief. At least it would be over. But I woke up. And for some reason I still don't fully understand, I decided to try one more day. Not because I believed it would work, but because I didn't have the energy to quit yet. And that one more day changed everything. Not dramatically, not immediately. But it started a chain reaction that led to everything I have now. And I think about that night all the time. How close I came to never knowing what was possible. If you're there right now, this is for you. Look, you're exhausted from trying and seeing no results, and every voice in your head says, quit. It's not working, you're not good enough, this is pointless. But what you call no results is actually invisible progress accumulating beneath the surface. And quitting now is like walking away from a fire you've been building for hours just before it ignites. This video reveals why your hardest days are often your closest to breakthrough days, why persistence isn't about motivation, it's about identity, and how future you is being built by today you's refusal to quit. Most advice tells you to stay positive. I'm showing you why staying period is enough, and why it changes everything. So, why does not giving up today matter so much? What's actually happening when you hold on, even when everything in you wants to let go? Let me show you. Imagine you're in the wilderness, and you need to build a fire. It's getting dark, it's getting cold, and you gather your kindling, arrange it carefully, create the structure just right. You strike the match. A small flame catches. You blow gently, nurture it, feed it more kindling, and it seems like it's working. The flame is growing, and then it dies. Just goes out. So you start again, same process, gather the kindling, arrange it, strike another match. Small flame catches. Looking good this time. You're feeding it, it's growing, and then it dies again. Third time, fourth time, fifth time. And each time you're getting more exhausted, you're cold, you're frustrated, and you start wondering if this is even possible. Maybe the wood is too wet. Maybe you don't know what you're doing. Maybe you should just accept that you're going to be cold tonight and stop wasting energy on something that clearly isn't working. And here's the moment. After hours of trying, you're ready to quit. You're looking at that pile of kindling and thinking it's not working. I've tried everything. I'm done. But here's what you don't see. Underneath the visible kindling, deep in the structure you've been building, embers are glowing. They're not visible, they're not dramatic, but they're hot. Each attempt you made, even the ones that seemed to fail completely, they added heat to the system. The wood is getting drier, it's getting warmer, it's getting closer to ignition point with every single attempt. You're one breath away from fire, one more try away from everything catching, but you can't see it. And if you walk away now, all that accumulated heat disperses. It cools down. And tomorrow, if you come back to try again, you're starting from cold wood. All that progress, all that accumulated heat from those 5 attempts, gone. But let's say you try one more time. Not because you believe it's going to work. Not because you're motivated or inspired. Just because you haven't stopped yet. And this time, the flame catches differently. It spreads faster, burns hotter, and within minutes, you have real fire. Not because this attempt was somehow more special than the others, but because this attempt had all the previous attempts underneath it. All that accumulated heat, all that invisible progress. And now it's visible. Now it's real. Now you're warm. And this is exactly what's happening in your life right now. Your efforts are like those failed flames. Each day you show up adds heat to the system. Invisible progress. The wood is getting drier. Your skills are improving. Your character is strengthening. Your network is expanding. Your understanding is deepening. But you don't see it, so you think nothing's happening. You think you're wasting time. You think it's not working. But underneath, beneath the surface, where you can't measure it or photograph it or show it to anyone, you're approaching ignition point. And quitting now is walking away from a fire that's about to ignite. All that accumulated heat, all that effort, all that growth, all that wisdom you've been gathering, it dissipates. And if you try again later, you start from cold. Let me be specific. The business that seems to be going nowhere, you might be weeks from the momentum point where everything compounds. The skill you're building that feels impossibly slow, you might be days from the breakthrough where suddenly it clicks and you level up. The relationship you're repairing that feels hopeless, you might be one honest conversation from the turning point. The health journey that's showing no results on the scale, you might have cellular changes happening right now, invisible changes that will become visible if you just stay consistent. But you don't know. You can't know. And that uncertainty is what makes today's choice so powerful. Because the only guaranteed failure is stopping. Not giving up today means keeping the heat in the system. It means tomorrow you start warmer than you started today, and that compounds until ignition. But here's what I need you to understand about the relationship between struggle and readiness. Because this is the part that changes everything. Think about a blacksmith making a sword. Starts with raw metal, potential but weak. To become a sword, that metal must be heated to extreme temperatures, then hammered, repeatedly, then plunged into water, the trauma of rapid cooling, then heated again, hammered again, cooled again, over and over. And if you were that metal, if you could think and feel, you'd be asking, why is this happening to me? When will this end? This is torture. But from the blacksmith's perspective, this isn't torture. This is necessary transformation. Each heating expands the metal's capacity. Each hammering aligns its molecular structure. Each cooling locks in the strength. Without this process, it stays weak metal. It can't hold an edge. It can't withstand pressure. It breaks easily. The struggle isn't delaying the sword. The struggle is creating the sword. And your current struggle, whatever it is, it's the fire. It's not random, it's not punishment, it's transformation. You're being heated to expand your capacity, being hammered to strengthen your character, being cooled to lock in the lessons. And I know it hurts. I know it feels like it's taking too long. I know you look at other people and wonder why they didn't have to go through this. But here's the truth. You're not being delayed. You're being developed. Let me give you a specific example. Someone's building a business and they fail. First launch, total failure. They learn what doesn't work. They fail again. Second launch, more failure. But this time, they learn to handle rejection without taking it personally. Third failure, they learn to pivot faster. Fourth failure, they learn to trust their instinct over other people's opinions. Fifth failure, they learn resilience they didn't even know they had. And each failure felt like a setback, felt like evidence that maybe this isn't for them. But each failure was actually a hammering, strengthening them, preparing them, building them into someone who can handle success. And then success comes. Not because they got lucky, because they got ready. They can handle it now. They have the wisdom to make good decisions. They have the resilience to handle setbacks. They have the character to stay humble. They have the skills to sustain what they built. And here's what most people miss. If they'd gotten the success without the failures, they would have lost it. They would have made different mistakes. They wouldn't have had the resilience. They wouldn't have had the wisdom. Success without preparation is temporary. Success after preparation is sustainable. So whatever you're going through right now, it's not wasting your time. It's building the you who can handle what's coming. The job that's testing your patience is teaching you endurance you'll need later. The relationship that's challenging you is teaching you communication skills that will serve you forever. The financial struggle is teaching you resourcefulness and creativity. The health battle is teaching you to value your body and honor your limits. You're not being delayed. You're being developed. And one day, when you're living in the outcome of all this development, you're going to look back at today and feel gratitude. Not because today was easy, but because today you stayed in the fire long enough to be forged into someone strong. And this requires an identity shift. Stop asking, when will this be over? Start asking, what is this teaching me? Stop seeing struggle as an obstacle. Start seeing it as preparation. The sword doesn't resent the fire. It surrenders to becoming what it's meant to be. And future, you will thank current you, not just for not quitting, but for enduring the forging without bitterness, for using the struggle instead of just surviving it, for becoming someone strong enough to hold what you've been building toward. Now, Let me give you the truths you need to understand. First, results are lagging indicators of effort. You're building for weeks or months before anything shows. Quitting during the invisible phase is like walking away right before harvest. Trust the process, even when you can't see the progress. Second, you never know how close you are to breakthrough. The day you want to quit most might be the day before everything changes. Not giving up today keeps you in the game for tomorrow's possibility. Third, your challenges aren't delaying your success. They're creating your capacity to sustain it. Struggle builds character, wisdom, and resilience you'll need when you get what you want. Without the forging, you'd break under the weight of the blessing. Fourth, the version of you who succeeds will trace everything back to the moment you almost quit and didn't. Not the moment you felt motivated, the moment you felt defeated, but chose to stay anyway. That choice echoes through everything that follows. And fifth, persistence isn't about feeling motivated, it's about identity. You're not someone who quits, even on days you want to, even on days it seems pointless. You're someone who stays. That identity creates different outcomes than someone trying to stay motivated. And here's the paradox. The days you most want to quit are often the days you're closest to breakthrough. Not because you're about to succeed, but because you're being tested on whether you truly want what you say you want. Passing the test qualifies you for the reward. And not giving up today isn't about being strong. It's about being willing to be weak and stay anyway. It's choosing to hold on when you have no reason, except that quitting closes the door forever and staying keeps it open. So how do you actually stay when everything in you wants to quit? What do you do on the days when hope feels impossible? Let me give you something practical. When you want to quit, don't commit to forever. Don't even commit to the week. Commit to 1 more hour. Say, I'll decide if I'm quitting in 1 hour, not now. 1 hour passes, reassess. 1 more hour. Break the day into survivable chunks. And by evening, you made it through without quitting. Tomorrow is a new decision, but you bought yourself time. And time is what allows the fire to build, the forging to complete, the breakthrough to happen. Every morning, spend 60 seconds visualizing future you. Picture them 5 years from now, living the outcome of your current effort. See them looking back at today you with gratitude. Hear them say, "Thank you for not giving up." Let that future you give you strength for today. You're not staying for yourself now who's tired. You're staying for yourself then who needs you to stay. And that makes all the difference. Every Sunday, write down evidence that you're progressing even if it doesn't feel like it. Skills you've developed, lessons you've learned, character you've built, not results. Growth. This becomes your proof that invisible progress is real. When you want to quit, read this list. It reminds you you're not stuck. You're building. You're accumulating heat in the system even when you can't see flames yet. Before your day starts, say out loud, "I'm someone who doesn't quit." Not, "I'm trying not to quit." I don't quit. This shifts from behavior, which is fragile, to identity, which is stable. When quitting tempts you during the day, identity reminds you who you are. You don't have to feel motivated, you just have to be consistent with your identity. An identity, once established, is incredibly powerful. It makes decisions for you before you even have to think about them. And when you're really tempted to quit, stop and write. "Dear past me who didn't give up, thank you for." Write as if you're already on the other side. Thank the current you for specific choices they're making today. This creates emotional connection between today's struggle and tomorrow's success. Makes quitting feel like betraying future you, and staying feel like honoring them. So here's what we've uncovered. Not giving up today isn't just preventing failure. It's keeping invisible progress alive, building the person who can handle success, creating the future where you look back with gratitude instead of regret. Your struggle isn't wasting time, it's forging you. You don't need to see results yet. You need to trust the fire you're building is getting hotter. And one day, probably sooner than you think, you'll thank yourself for being willing to hold on when holding on felt impossible. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're not doing it wrong. You're in the fire right now, being forged into someone stronger, wiser, more capable than you were when you started. And the version of you that makes it through this, they'll be unstoppable. Not because they never wanted to quit, but because they wanted to quit and chose to stay anyway. That choice repeated daily creates a person who can't be stopped by anything. I know today is hard. I know you can't see how this works out. I know every cell in your body is screaming to give up. But here's what I need you to hear. Future you is waiting. They're already there, living the life you're building right now with every day you don't quit. And they're trying to reach back through time to tell you it's worth it. The pain is worth it. The uncertainty is worth it. The days when you feel like nothing's working, those are the days that build everything. So please, just one more day. Give yourself one more day. And tomorrow, give yourself one more. Because one day, you'll look back at today and feel gratitude so deep, it brings tears to your eyes. Not because today was easy, but because today, you stayed. If you needed to hear this, drop a comment and tell me, what's the one thing you're committing to not give up on this week? What are you going to keep building even when you can't see the results yet? And if you want more reminders that your struggle isn't wasted, that you're closer than you think, and that staying is the most powerful choice you can make, subscribe. Because you deserve to hear the truth. You're not just surviving, you're being transformed. And one day you'll thank yourself for not giving up today. I'll see you in the next one. Now go stay one more day.